the danger when you have such a big gap and other teams continue to play is that it might just break up your rhythm of the game, how physically you feel. So we've tried to keep that as consistent as we can.
And lastly, Crystal Palace, your opponents on Wednesday night, they seem to be hitting some pretty good form, a hugely impressive performance and result at Liverpool, and then they scored 5 goals against West Ham at the weekend.
Yeah, 2 very good performances. I have to say that I think that's been coming for them. I think they've been playing well, maybe not getting the results that they deserved. But the last 2 games, everything's come together for them in a really good way. And credit to the new manager who's come in and instantly played a new system. And a new system, I think, that gets the best out of the players they have. They've got some very good attackers, as we know, and it gives them a really good platform to express themselves. And I think for us, can't underestimate, this is going to be a really difficult game against a team that are in good form.
Total Sport North East.
Matthew Raisbeck and black and white legend John Anderson.
BBC Radio Newcastle.
That's Eddie Howe, who has named Callum Wilson among his substitutes for the first time in more than 2 months. A really good attacking option on the bench, and one they haven't had for a while, and the problem they've had all season has been keeping both Isak and Wilson fit at the same time, coming towards the end of the season, but it's really good to see him free of injury again, and hopefully he can get through to the end of the campaign without picking up another problem.
Yeah, look, he's exceptional when he's fit. I think when he's fit, he scores goals. I think we've recognised that the problem is keeping him fit, and it's been a major problem all through his career. You know, it's not just since he's been here. When he picks up injuries, they're not just a week or 10 days, they're usually 6-8 weeks. You know, Isak's had to do the bulk of the work and he's been outstanding. You know, you would say that Isak is the #1 striker at the club now at this moment in time, and rightly so, because of the goals that he scored and the performances that he's put in since Wilson's been out. But it's good to have that option on the bench, there's no doubt about it. I mean, prior to his injury, Eddie Howe was rotating them week by week. I don't think that suited either of them, if I'm perfectly honest. I think, you know, you need to make up your mind who your #1 is and go with that and have that option on the bench. But yeah, it's good to have him back. You know, hopefully we'll see him at some stage tonight. And hopefully we'll be a couple up with 15 minutes to go, and he'll get on and he'll get 15 minutes. But yeah, it's all of a sudden you look at the bench and it's nice to have that attacking option there.
Here come the teams. Referee Tom Bramall from Sheffield leads them out onto the pitch, flanked by his assistants Tim Wood and Steve Meredith. It's going to be black and white for Newcastle against the red and blue of Crystal Palace. The fire-breathing machines are on the far side of the field. We can feel the heat and the warmth from them all the way over here at the back of the main stand.
It's a pity they weren't a bit nearer.
I know. Newcastle unchanged for tonight's match at Selhurst Park. So that means Eddie Howe sticks with front 3, so effective against Spurs, of Barnes, Gordon and Isak.
Well, it was a good start for them, wasn't it? I mean, 3 individually very good players. Whether they can work in tandem on a regular basis, well, that remains to be seen, and they have to prove that can be the case. I think trying to find a way that they can do that tactically is, of course, what I'm trying to deliver for the group, and it isn't always as easy as maybe you'd think it is, because each player has to be comfortable in his position, and it has to be delivered in a way that they can play at their best levels, and they're psychologically happy to play in that role. So the signs were good against Tottenham, but of course every game's very different.
And we've talked about the threats Palace have, but Newcastle, I mean, Gordon and Isak especially, Barnes is still finding his way back after a couple of injuries. I mean, they were electric against Spurs at times, the 3 of them, but Barnes and but Gordon and Isak all season have just continued to deliver.
Yeah, I don't think Spurs did themselves any favours with the way they defended with that high line. Just left so much green grass in behind for the pace of Isak, Gordon, Barnes to get in behind them. I don't think Palace will do that. I think they'll defend a little bit deeper. I think they'll be a little bit more savvy than Spurs were. But look, on the day, the three of them are. Gordon's been electric. He's been exceptional this season. Isak is just get him the ball in and around the penalty area, and he stands defenders up and he just passes the ball into the back of the net. It's been a stop-start season for Barnes, there's no doubt about that. But he's shown in the games that he's played, the quality that he's got, and he's got goals in him. He can score goals. So it's a front three that would frighten any back four.
Crystal Palace, Dean Henderson in goal, Nathaniel Klein, Joachim Andersen and Chris Richards are the back three. Right wing back is Daniel Munoz, Colombian international that they signed in January. Left wing back is Tyrick Mitchell. Then in midfield, Will Hughes and another January signing, Adam Wharton, who's impressed since moving from Blackburn for about 20 million, 20 years of age, and someone that Crystal Palace fans have really taken to. So we'll keep an eye on him tonight. Jordan Ayew, Jean-Philippe Mateta, who has got 6 in 8 since Oliver Glasner replaced Roy Hodgson in February, and Eberechi Eze. Palace bench, Remy Matthews, once of Sunderland, the goalkeeper, Joel Ward, James Tompkins, Michael Elise, Jeffrey Schlupp, Odson Edouard, Naru Ahamada, Jarro Riedewald and David Ozo. And an unchanged Newcastle United: Dubravka, Kraft, Scher, Byrne, Murphy, Longstaff, Bruno, Anderson, his 50th Newcastle appearance, Gordon, Barnes and Isak. And we're underway. BBC Radio Newcastle, NUFC TV, black and white stripes, black shorts and white socks, kicking towards the goal to our right hand side in the first half. Dubravka all in yellow, and they have a free kick close to where the away section begins on the far touchline. Longstaff back to Scher, edge of the penalty area, over to Kraft on the near side. Palace red and blue halves on their shirts, blue shorts and blue socks. Gordon inside for Newcastle to Anderson into the final third. Barnes on the left wing, Anderson on the outside taking on his man. Comes back to Barnes, now it's Bruno 30 yards from the goal. A backward pass to Scher just inside his own half. He finds the feet of Kraft, up the line to Murphy, inside for Gordon, step over from Gordon, dummy, found Isak, but the return ball is rolled into the feet of the goalkeeper by Palace, but the clearance gives it back to Newcastle. Now Richards away again, looking for Mateta, he's trying to get the better of Scher, but Fabian Scher rolls it back to Martin Dubravka. And it's Kraft in the right corner, clipping it forwards, Gordon trying to win it, Richards with the header, Longstaff with a couple of challenges, Palace clear it, Scher away, Anderson takes it on the half turn, gets into the Palace half, rides a couple of challenges, and it took Joachim Andersen sliding in to stop him, and Murphy's ball forward into the hands of Henderson, 0-0.
Yeah, lively enough start. Again, we've seen Gordon on that left-hand side getting involved early, but they've swapped over again. Barnes is now playing on that left side. Gordon has come to this right side.
BBC Radio Newcastle. There's a ball from Adam Wharton, left-footed to Tyrick Mitchell. Plays it along the floor at an angle to Jordan Ayew, the Palace number 9. One change for them, he comes in for Michael Elise. They have it now in the centre of defence with Joachim Andersen, linked on and off to Newcastle over the last few years. Andersen, Danish international. Wharton plays it left-footed to the right wing. Munoz inside to Eze. Back it goes to Klein. Looking for Eze again. Tries to get the better of Dan Burn. He's won a free kick on halfway.
Just rolled him, didn't he?
To give you the Newcastle bench: Karius, Dummett, Wilson, Ritchie, Hall, Livramento, White, Alex Murphy and Parkinson are the 9 substitutes. Long ball up the pitch from Henderson. Longstaff wins a header in midfield. Palace then win the second ball. Bruno with a foul on Hughes. Pushed him in the back.
Yeah, a little nudge. As soon as you feel it, players just go down now, don't they? Right in front of the referee as well.
ball, played it quickly down the near side, it's gone behind. Tried to catch Newcastle out with something that they weren't ready for, but it didn't work out, and it's a goal kick. In the opening 5 minutes, I know just on what you've seen, as Dan Burn loses it in the corner, and Crystal Palace have a corner kick. That was a rather unforced error.
Yeah, just trying to play out from the back, wasn't it? Just got caught on it, just got caught under his feet.
They are playing with a 3, aren't they?
Yeah, they are playing with a 3, yeah.
It's on the far side. Everybody defending for Newcastle. As we await the ball. In from Eza. It's high towards the penalty spot. Couple of headers back out wide. Eberechi Eza. Left-footed delivery this time. Richards helps it on. And a block from Fabian Schär. Joachim Andersen tried to get a shot away.
Yeah, centre-half waited too long to hit it. Allowed Schär to get right in front of him, get an important block. Needed to hit that earlier. Half a chance.
Crystal Palace are going to stay on the attack with a corner now on this near side. Eza to Wharton, corner of the penalty area, volleyed away by Isak. Gordon chases after it with Eza. Palace man is there first, then Gordon and Eza collide on the touchline. Referee says play on. Crystal Palace supporters, many of them unhappy with that collision. Bouncing ball, Emil Kraft wins a knockdown for Jacob Murphy. Forwards it goes towards Gordon. Mitchell away. Mateta with a layoff. Now Hughes through the legs of Longstaff, and Mateta finds Wharton in the centre of the Newcastle half. Klein. Wide it goes to Daniel Munoz. Ayew trying to get around Byrne, who's got to the ball first, plays it forwards, up the line to Anderson. Then a big clearance from Dan Byrne, headed on by Klein and out of Anderson. Palace throw 35-40 yards from the goal. Jacob Murphy and Eberechi go for the ball, but the flag is up from a crossfield pass. Eddie Howe making some notes on a piece of paper, which he now puts into his pocket and stands next to the seats on the bench. Then he goes straight back out to the edge of the technical area. Fabian Schär, 15 yards in front of Newcastle's box. He's about to take the free kick. Isak's dropped in on halfway. Schär tries to switch it towards Barnes. It's headed forwards by Munoz. Byrne slides in, and that's a good, clean challenge. Throw taken up to Mateta. Holds off Schär, but that's good work, isn't it, from Elliot Anderson? Look at that, getting stuck in between man and ball, winning it back. Now Byrne to Longstaff, to the feet of Dubravka on the goal line, wide to Kraft, on to Murphy. Stabbed back inside, given away to Wharton. That was dangerous. Wharton's shot blocked. Gordon's got it. Longstaff, now a ball from Longstaff that's come through for Harvey Barnes. He's got a chance to run. Klein gets back to him. Barnes on his right, edge of the area. A back heel to Gordon. And then a recovery from Munoz. And it'll be a Newcastle throw 15 yards out.
Yeah, it was a chance, wasn't it? Just broke. Klein didn't deal with the long ball forward, just came off him.
8 minutes played, 0-0. Throw taken by Anderson. Elliot Anderson for Newcastle. Joachim Andersen in the Palace team. They look for Anderson again with a ball into the penalty area that had too much behind it. And it's a goal kick for Dean Henderson. See what they were trying to do, just drop it in behind the last defender.
Yeah, straight ball. There's been plenty of water put on this pitch as well. Just skidded away, didn't it?
Well, that was their first attack of any significance. Looking to go forwards again now with Harvey Barnes. He's won a throw. Anderson picks up the ball. Bruno takes a touch outside of the right boot, back into the United half to Byrne, inside to Cher. Shuffle across towards this near right touchline. Ball to Murphy. Gets it under control. Backwards to Kraft, inside to Longstaff. Kraft again, Palace pressing. Newcastle trying to break out of it. And Bruno's lost it. Ayew to the right side to Munoz. High ball to the back post. Overhit.
Poor. Wasn't under any pressure either, was he? Barnes had let him run, he didn't track him.
Jason Tyndall's out now for Newcastle. And seems like he's talking to both Gordon and Murphy. Murphy makes his way up to the halfway line. Dubravka preparing to take the goal kick. Good atmosphere as usual at Selhurst Park. Anderson wins the header from behind Isak. Gordon with a back heel. Ball drops in the centre circle. Nathaniel Klein back to Anderson for Palace, towards Eza, heading towards the left corner. Kraft with him, holding him up. Eza's got Hughes on the outside. He's gone for the cross, takes a big deflection off Longstaff, and Dubravka catches it near to his right-hand post, rolls it out underarm to Anderson, still in the penalty area, and up the line from Anderson. It's stayed in play, but it's retrieved by the other Anderson, Crystal Palace, through Adam Wharton. Get the ball moving in midfield, 0-0. Wharton facing his own goal, Bruno on his shoulder, back to the goalkeeper Henderson, who has a touch and then pings it through the middle. Fabian Schär lets that run. Martin Dubravka collects.
Yeah, it's a poor ball by Henderson, wasn't it?
Bruno back to Schär, middle of the Newcastle back three. Looking to do a first double over Crystal Palace, win home and away for 10 years, since 2013-14, after a 4-0 win at St James's in October. 0-0 at the moment in the early stages. Ball's won in midfield by Klein after Newcastle were playing it around at the back. To Mateta, he slips, then picks himself up, passes it to Eza just outside the area, sidesteps his man, still got it, Eza!
What an effort that is.
Brilliant skill to set up the shot, and it's just past Martin Dubravka's left-hand post, low down.
Oh, good hit, wasn't it? Just shifted it one way, came back, dropped the shoulder and just whipped that right foot round it. Dubravka scrambling, wasn't far wide of his left-hand post, was it?
I think there would be a lot of excitement if Eberechi Eza ended up in a Newcastle shirt, but there'll be a lot of competition to sign him. He's being linked to a lot of clubs at the top of the league. He's got so much ability. Here he is again, combining with Mateta. Schär makes a challenge. Ball ends up on the far touchline with Munoz. Still goalless, BBC Radio Newcastle, 12 minutes. In it comes, Dubravka punches and clears Wharton's cross. Another back heel from Gordon. Longstaff trying to charge through
Great
midfield.
Challenge.
Tackles
Great
come in.
challenge.
Longstaff has stayed down. Picks himself up slowly. Chris Richards, the American Crystal Palace centre-back, on the left side into the feet of Wharton, on away from Bruno, now looking for Mateta, who slipped again, and it's a good job that he did, but Fabian Schär got across anyway and cleared.
Not the quickest though, is he?
He's 6'4", muscular, but yeah, maybe not rapid like others in the Palace team. Ayew inside to the middle of midfield. Hughes. Now Wharton gets it on his left. Likes to keep the ball moving. There's a chance now for Klein to go on the outside and cross, and he wins a corner.
Yeah, I've had a bit of the ball, haven't they? Crystal Palace in this opening, 13-14 minutes.
13 and a half minutes to be exact, and another corner kick. Eza over to the far side next to the away fans who are all on their feet. And once again all of the players have come back to defend. An out-swinging corner kick. It's a Fabian Schär header, hasn't cleared the box. It's come back out to Eza. Murphy gets there quickly. Another ball sent in, this time left-footed from Eza, and it's headed over the top by Mateta.
Another half chance, isn't it? Just a little ball lifted in there. First corner's not really cleared. They recycle it, Palace. Difficult header. Trying to generate power. Yeah, there was no pace on the cross. It was just lifted in there.
Martin Dubravka sends it long towards halfway, straight onto the head of Tyrick Mitchell for Crystal Palace. Eberechi Eze inside to blonde-haired midfielder Will Hughes. Eze's got it again. On the move. Gets it back from Mateta and slips. And then Newcastle's clearance is straight back to Eze on the edge of the penalty area, and Mitchell lets it run behind for a corner. Last touches off a black and white shirt. Players slipping, but Newcastle also giving the ball away.
Yeah, that obviously watered that end of the pitch a little bit more, because that's not the first time we've seen players losing their footing.
But it's a lot of it is coming through Eberechi Eze.
Yeah, he's a good player, isn't he? He's got real good feet, good balance.
Corner kick, right-footed from the near left side. Goes towards the back post. Big Dan Burn heads it up. Bruno heads on. Palace win it through Hughes. Anderson slid in to try and block. Now across from the right. Good ball whipped in from centre-half Anderson. It's cleared. Wharton with an effort. Held low down by Dubravka.
Yeah, comfortable save. Wasn't a decent enough hit, but it's a save you'd expect the keeper to make.
BBC Radio Newcastle 0-0. Jacob Murphy for Anthony Gordon, given away. Gordon wins it back. Emil Kraft up the line to Murphy. Palace have got it, then Gordon wins it again. Longstaff leaves it for Kraft, can only push it clear. It's gone out, and it is Newcastle's ball. Eddie Howe passes it back down the touchline towards Jacob Murphy. Haven't seen much of them in the Crystal Palace half, and though in the opening 17 minutes.
No, we haven't seen a great deal of the ball, have we? Palace have had more of the ball than we had.
Murphy's throw straight onto the left boot of Will Hughes. Eze to Mateta, tackled by Kraft and cleared by Murphy. Anderson back to Burn, has a touch. Ayew's right on him in the penalty box. Burn forced out wide, and then Crystal Palace have recovered possession. Hughes now playing it back to the feet of Klein. Ayew towards Wharton, more central position, straight at Longstaff. Gordon trying to get on it, holds off Hughes. Then Hughes slides in and beats Emil Kraft to the ball. Near to the goal line on the left. Murphy gets in the way, back to Mitchell. Plays it to the back of the penalty area. Eze to Wharton. A through ball cut out by United. Can't really get it away. They can't get up the pitch. Still 0-0 with Crystal Palace putting the pressure on. Eze touched off to Hughes inside, edge of the D. Ayew with the layoff to Wharton, and now Mitchell. Back to Hughes. Wharton inside. Eze holding it up. Hughes, now Ayew trying to find space for the shot. Can't get it up. Can't get the shot away. Goes wide to Klein. He's given him an angle again. Now Ayew's gone for it.
Yeah, he was a bit hopeful, wasn't he?
So right-footed whip shot from the right side. Obviously trying to catch Dubravka around his near post.
Yeah, it was never going to happen. You can see what he's trying to do. Dubravka always has it covered.
Crystal Palace 0, Newcastle United 0. Jason Tindall and Eddie Howe, just watched by the fourth official Tim Robinson. them standing next to each other in the technical area. Sometimes that's allowed, sometimes it's not. There are no goals elsewhere in the Premier League. Ayew with some skill, and the ball to find Munoz inside now to Wharton. Over to the left to Richards. Gordon nearly intercepted it. Richards had to rush the pass. He's found another red and blue shirt. Back it comes to Anderson. Now Richards, Gordon getting close. Richards towards Mitchell. Murphy with him on his shoulder. Palace in their defensive third. A block by Murphy. And it's throw for the home team. Manager Oliver Glasner with very clean white trainers on, and otherwise all in black is screaming from the side of the pitch as Mitchell looks to throw the ball up the line. It's towards Mateta. He's trying to flick it away from Kraft. Newcastle make a challenge. Hughes for Palace. Ezra's got it. Great skill with the ball at his feet. Gordon then puts it out of play.
He's got quick feet, hasn't he? Got great feet.
Mitchell's throw. Turned to him by Bruno. He's gone down off the ball. He's picking himself up. And then he goes back down. The referee stopped the game. Did he get his studs caught in the turf? Went to challenge.
No challenge.
But he couldn't get there because he seemed, I don't know if he slipped or twisted. Physio's on. He went to get up, and they're having a good look at him here. It's his left ankle. He might have just tweaked it. And they are testing out his left knee and his left ankle as he takes a swig from a water bottle out of the physio's bag. In the meantime, everybody else, including the goalkeeper, is with Eddie Howe and Jason Tindall on the touchline. And there's a bit of this at Fulham, wasn't there, when there were breaks in play, got everyone together, had words with the players. Doesn't look too happy. Bruno's on his feet. I think he's going to come back on, which is good news. The manager puts his arm on Bruno's back, and hopefully, whatever it is, he'll be able to.
Yeah, he seems all right, doesn't he?
Run it off. I wonder what Eddie Howe was saying to them. I wonder what the message was, the nature of it. He's having a long chat with Bruno. He will have to wait to come back on. Palace have restarted the match 0-0. BBC Radio Newcastle. Richards to Mitchell, still in their half of the field, Crystal Palace. Anderson to Richards again. Mateta to Mitchell. Eze is on halfway. Bruno asking to come back on. It's 30 seconds, isn't it, that they have to stay off for. Tom Bramwell's having a look at his watch. Free kick for Crystal Palace. Kraft with a foul on Eze. Bruno comes back on, and Wolves are 1-0 down at home to Bournemouth. Antoine Semenyo has scored the goal.
Had plenty of the ball, haven't they, Palace?
Oh, they've tried to catch Dubravka out with another sneaky little free kick, and it's Eze. He went for the near side of the goal.
Tell you what, it's great vision, isn't it?
Keeper got across and made a save low down. Gordon chasing a ball up the right wing. It's gone out of play. But we've hardly seen anything, I know, of Newcastle with the ball at their feet. They had one attack that didn't lead to anything, although Barnes got into a good position and tried to find Gordon in the box. Crystal Palace haven't really tested Martin Dubravka. They've had a few corners and a lot of play near to the penalty area, though.
Yeah, they've had plenty of the ball.
Kraft battling for it with Mitchell. Longstaff trying to play it in behind Anderson, who's met the ball but sliced his clearance. It's come to Byrne. Now Bruno involved, approaching the halfway line. On to Barnes, looking for Anderson, who stretching, couldn't collect it, and has committed a foul on Hughes in the process.
Just can't keep it, can we? Cannot keep it.
It's in the centre of the Palace half, and Anderson trying to drop it in behind both Kraft and Murphy. That's where it goes. Murphy takes a touch, plays it inside to Kraft. Murphy on it again now in the corner, out off Mitchell. And Newcastle have a throw. Referee Tom Bramall makes sure Emil Kraft, as he drives the ball in his black and white shirt, doesn't take it from the wrong position. He's currently behind one of those pillars holding up the stand. Throws it back in, gets it back from Bruno. Richards with a header. It's with Newcastle, and Longstaff over to Byrne in lots of space. Dan Byrne into midfield. Now trying to thread it in behind Klein for Isak, cut out by the Palace defender, and Anderson clears. Good idea, but execution not quite perfect. Klein on it again, far touchline. Forwards it goes. Bruno wins it back. Anderson wanted a free kick. It's a Crystal Palace throw.
Yeah, he went down far too easy, didn't he?
Of his 50 Newcastle appearances, Elliot Anderson, this is the 13th start. Here's the throw. 0-0 in the 26th minute. Munoz giving it away. Anderson with a clearance. It's over the head of Isak. Anderson for Palace. The back pass didn't go into the penalty area. It ran parallel with the line of the box, and Henderson had to leave his area to clear. Newcastle have it in midfield. Anderson onto Barnes. Crowded out. Palace players swarm around Harvey Barnes as he gets the ball, and Fabian Schär's been tripped.
Mateta fell again. He just slipped again. Many times has he lost his foot.
It's a greasy surface. Players are all over the place. Mainly
But I'm not too sure that's a free kick.
I think Schär was slipping as well, wasn't he?
Looks like he just lost his feet.
That drummer's going to have a sore wrist, aren't they, at half-time? They've been going all night long so far. Borussia Dortmund did that as well, didn't they?
Yeah.
In the Champions League, they brought a drum to St James's. Here's the free kick for Newcastle, headed on by Byrne. And then away by Palace. Schär to Anderson. Murphy level with the box, near side. Emil Kraft inside to Bruno on the floor. Bruno digs it out. Anderson's on it in the penalty area. The cut back. Oh, it's behind Barnes.
Offside.
Now the flag goes up. Good run by Anderson. Bruno spotted him. Obviously the offside flag means that it's a Crystal Palace free kick. The pullback probably just overhit. I think he's onside there, Anderson. It would be one where the lines would need to be drawn. It's close. It's close. It's like a Haji Wright at Wembley.
Nothing came and it did it?
Sort of thing. Another close one. Crystal Palace have taken the free kick. Eza trying to burst into the area. Murphy's got it up to Isak, but can't hold it. Has Isak had a touch yet? Can't remember anything significant from Isak. Haven't been able to get him in the game. And a shot from Ayew straight into Dubravka, low down by his left-hand post.
Yeah, had what, 3 or 4 shots, all comfortable for Dubravka.
Bruno away from 2, Wharton and Ayew. It's good midfield play. Anthony Gordon back inside to Bruno, centre circle. It comes across to Murphy. He's kept it in with a header, down for Kraft, who turns and goes back inside to Schär. The Merseyside derby, a goal for Everton. Jared Branthwaite has scored. Maybe a surprise. Big for Everton at the bottom. Not good for Liverpool in the title race after Arsenal won yesterday. Here it's 0-0, BBC Radio Newcastle. Free kick for Newcastle, played by Bruno to Longstaff. Gordon has to go back to halfway. Kraft forwards now to Sean Longstaff, who has a look. And it's pretty motionless in front of him. Back it goes to Byrne. Barnes on halfway to the feet of Cher. Palace push right up towards the halfway line. Bruno turns, Isak wants it lifted in behind, and the ball from Bruno to get Isak away. Here he goes, Alexander Isak. Big block by the goalkeeper on the 6-yard line, and they're both hurt as play continues. Referee having a look. Isak stayed down. Newcastle still on the attack. Longstaff with a through ball. Kraft trying to keep it in but can't. Isak got away from the defender. Then the touch in the box gave the keeper a chance. They both went into the challenge, and Isak's come off worse.
Yeah, he looks all right. Looks like he just took a little knock. Better though. Got away from Anderson, didn't he? Keeper's come out. He's done well, the keeper.
It's the touch with his head that takes it away, Ando, from the defender, but also means that it gives the goalkeeper a chance.
Yes.
Into his path.
Yeah, he's just won the ball cleanly, hasn't he, Henderson?
But that's Isak, isn't it? Just
playing on the shoulder.
Made sure he was onside. On his chest, brings it down, held off the challenge of Cher. Munoz towards Ayew after Newcastle had a good opportunity at one end. Crystal Palace up, going up to the other end, trying to create one themselves. They get a free kick. Foul by Cher on the touchline on Ayew. And he argues with the assistant referee, Steve Meredith, but...
Good skill, wasn't it?
Decision goes the way of the home side, Crystal Palace. 14th in the table. Like Newcastle, back-to-back wins going into this game tonight. Gordon is one-man wall. It's about 15 yards out the free kick, close to the far touchline, whipped into the 6-yard box, away by Newcastle, out to Wharton, blocked on the way through. Might have hit a Crystal Palace player. Eze, left-footed, lifts it towards the penalty box. Kraft gets up and heads away. Bruno with a header into midfield. Longstaff onto Isak. Touched down towards Murphy. Palace have got it back. No flag. Here's Mateta. It's off the bar.
It's offside. Oh, I tell you what, he'll be relieved.
And now offside. Flag stays down as it does. Newcastle believed he was offside at the edge of the penalty area, or well, close to the D, when it came through to him.
Yeah, he's a mile off.
And he took a touch. Dubravka came out. Shot crashed off the front of the bar, but it's the correct decision.
Good save, actually. He's got hands on it, Dubravka. Pushed it up in the air, hit the crossbar.
Bruno and Longstaff combine, left side of central midfield. Bruno's ball cut out by Richards. Gets away from Anderson. Passes it to the feet of Munoz for Palace. 33rd minute. Wharton to the right of the centre circle. Ball on his left foot. Back to Richards. Gordon chasing him down. Eze, Kraft's followed him all the way in. Back to Richards. Keeper gets it. Has one touch to pass it back to Richards. Pursued by Gordon. Mitchell played against the shins of Murphy. Richards away into midfield. Eze with a header. Kraft with a win in the air for Newcastle. Wharton clips it forwards. Byrne to Bruno. Fouled by Adam Wharton in the centre circle. They get the decision. Bruno takes it quickly to Anderson. Referee says the ball was rolling. Bournemouth leading 1-0 at Wolves at half-time. That was a 7:45 kick-off. This one, the Merseyside derby, 1-0 to Everton, and Manchester United, Sheffield United, all 8 o'clock kickoffs. Man United 0-0 at Old Trafford with the Premier League's bottom team, who come to St James's Park, Sheffield United, on Saturday at 3. Murphy might be forced back to the keeper, or forced into the corner under pressure.
Oh, he got lucky, didn't he? He got really lucky. It's going absolutely nowhere.
Dubravka carries the ball into the 6-yard box. Anthony Gordon's been over to see Eddie Howe. Now Jacob Murphy having a word with staff on the touchline. Dubravka, plenty of height on the ball, headed on by Barnes. Isak rises, gets a touch on it. It's out there with Anderson. Back to Bruno, takes it so well, Bruno, under pressure, but then loses it. Burn into a challenge, up into the air. Header from Richards to Hughes. Anderson for Palace, again trying to get it in behind Kraft, who nods it forwards. Murphy on. Wharton with a good win, then Ayew through towards Munoz. Byrne makes the tackle. Anderson to Longstaff, dispossessed, but Scher now gets it clear. That is Gordon to Anderson. Elliot Anderson tries to play Isak in behind, he's got him away. Isak around Anderson in the box. Still Alexander Isak, 3 defenders on him. Wide right, Newcastle still on the attack. Anderson to Murphy. Murphy drifts in off the right touchline. Barnes to Longstaff. Elliot Anderson with a chance to deliver. The cross into the 6-yard box, away by Joachim Anderson.
Oh, what a touch that is.
Eberechi has a incredible skill and technique. Ball back to Mitchell, not maybe the one that he wanted. Byrne now to Kraft. Dan Burn stayed down, Newcastle stay on the attack. Longstaff with a through ball, just cut out by Anderson before it reached Barnes. And a throw for Crystal Palace in the left full-back position. Plenty going on there, John Anderson.
Yeah, all of a sudden we've sprang into life. A couple of little balls in behind, a couple of little runs. A couple of balls into the box.
0-0 at Selhurst Park. As Newcastle applying some pressure on Crystal Palace. Isak got in, then took it around the defender towards the right side. And then that really took him away from goal, and then very quickly there were 3 on him.
Yeah,
there was no route then to
no, there was nowhere to go. He was forced wide.
So Newcastle with a little bit more attacking play in the last 10 minutes or so. And 0-0 the score. Meanwhile, a goal at Old Trafford, but it's gone the way of Sheffield United. 1-0. They lead Manchester United. You're having an interesting time. It's been scored by Jayden Bogle. Jean-Philippe Mateta for Palace. Eberechi Eze, lovely skill again, into the box. Eze goes down under a challenge, but appeals really just coming from the supporters, not the players. And Newcastle want to play on. Palace have another man down in the box. It's Mateta, as Murphy lifts it forwards into the attacking half of the pitch. Mateta gets himself up as Crystal Palace win the ball back. 38 minutes play. Will Hughes in midfield, pulled back by Sean Longstaff. Whistle's gone. Take another look at the Eze run. VAR's not looking at it, but
slight contact, not enough to knock him down.
He's on the way down as he collides with Fabian Scher's boot.
They always are.
That's what happened. We've seen it again, close up. 0-0 the score, 38th minute, BBC Radio Newcastle. Byrne towards Barnes. He's got the decisions. Throw. Here's the halfway line. Fabian Scher now in the Newcastle penalty area. Kraft pulls out to towards the touchline to receive it. His ball forwards is charged down, and it's a throw. back into play. Gordon, good leap to head it on, but it's come to Klein. Isak all over him. Klein then has to play it back to Joachim Andersen. That's in behind. Nobody there for Palace, although Will Hughes giving it a good chase. And Kraft plays it against Hughes, then heads it on. Murphy away and out.
Good chase by Hughes, wasn't it? Because Eze was in an offside position.
Andersen to Klein, pushed over to the far side to Munoz. Along the floor to Ayew, he's lost it. Bruno onto Isak, middle of Palace's half. Longstaff looking maybe for Murphy. Finds him eventually. Closed down by Mitchell. First time ball back by Murphy to Kraft. Into Longstaff. Kraft again. Back to Share in the centre of Newcastle's three-man defence. Burn on the edge of their penalty area. Finds Andersen. Tries to turn. The challenge that comes in from Klein. Bruno then has it. Gets tackled. Share away towards Gordon. Good ball into Gordon. Near to halfway. Had a little bit of space. A layoff to Andersen. And now they're on the attack, Newcastle, with Harvey Barnes. Andersen makes a run. Tries to get on the end of Barnes' ball. Tackle from Richards, who's
well timed, wasn't it?
Drifted across to the
Seen
far
the
side.
run, tracked the run, slid in, won the ball very cleanly.
In line with the edge of the Palace penalty box. Gordon gets it, gives it back to Barnes, away as far as Share, 5 yards into the Palace half, clipped in behind. Isak on the chase, gets there, keeps it in. Just inside the penalty area. Gordon wide to Andersen. Gordon again, corner of the box, sends the cross in. Longstaff went for it with his head, but Andersen clears for Palace, and then Wharton up to the halfway line. Share lets it come. And goes back to the goalkeeper. Dubravka to Kraft, out to Murphy. Mitchell right on top of him. Murphy's done well, found Gordon, tried to spin and get away from Richards. There's going to be a yellow card for the pullback from Gordon. First booking of the night for the Crystal Palace centre-back.
Just had hold of his shirt, didn't he?
This is Bruno. Longstaff back to Share. Bruno again has a touch, holds off Wharton. Longstaff looking for Barnes. Won by Klein. Dan Burn's got it now. His crossfield ball attempt blocked by Wharton. Burn then wins it back again. And up the line, out off.
It's gone very scrappy, hasn't it?
Andersen's throw, 42 minutes played. Gets it back from Burn. Now Barnes takes it infield. His pass is stopped, and then Longstaff lifts it up. Jacob Murphy. It's a very difficult ball to control. It was probably out of play when he headed it. And Longstaff now having a chat with a couple of his teammates after his ball went out of play. Mitchell with a throw to Eze. Longstaff wins it. Murphy inside to Bruno, man on. He flicks it away backwards to Share. Across to Burn, closed down by Munoz. He has to go to the goalkeeper. It was his only passing option. Harry Maguire's equalised for Manchester United against Sheffield United. 1-1. 0-0 here. Isak to Gordon. Andersen making a run through the middle. Gordon carries. Can he get Barnes in? Still got it, Anthony Gordon. The through ball was no longer on, but they'd gone wide to Barnes. Palace have got 5-6 bodies back, and the momentum of the move is pretty much gone for Newcastle, who now go back to halfway to Share. Kraft. Murphy back through for Kraft. That's good. He's got a bit of space. Isak might be offside. Flag stays down. Isak
Offside. Yeah, he looked offside, didn't he?
Now the flag comes up.
Right in line with us. Just went that fraction too early.
Yeah, no dispute, no problem with that decision. It's definitely offside, Isak. it had gone for a corner or thrown in the corner flag off his ball inside, but it's instead a Crystal Palace free kick. Dean Henderson, the goalkeeper, who's from Cumbria. He's missed a few months of the season with a thigh injury, but he's back in goal. Palace without a few players tonight, including Sam Johnston, a goalkeeper, Mark Gahey, Rob Holding, Jefferson Lerma among their injured. They have a throw near to the halfway line. Final minute of the opening 45 on BBC Radio Newcastle. Mitchell. Not in a hurry. Throws it in diagonally towards Mateta, flicks it on. Cher is there, in behind, but away from Isak, who now chases Joachim Andersen. Turns inside, passes it to the feet of his goalkeeper, Anthony Gordon. Man on a mission, trying to close down. Out to Eza for the first time. His touch wasn't quite there, but he's heading towards the
difficult one to
line.
take, though, wasn't it? It was going away from him.
A minute is the minimum period of additional time. Where did they find a minute from? Hasn't been much, has there? Here in Newcastle. Anderson, cut out by the other Anderson. Isak was...
Bruno's injury, wasn't it?
Yeah, he's running in behind, and Newcastle almost got away. It was last-ditch stuff. Richards towards Mitchell. Longstaff, good win in midfield. Gordon with a back heel to Murphy. Newcastle through Bruno. Fouled by Ayew. Have they got time to take a free kick? There's 15 seconds left. Yellow card for Jordan Ayew. 2 Palace players in the book. You can hear what the home fans think of that. Jason Tindall having a word with Bruno. Some of Newcastle's technical staff, video analysts, head up the touchline towards the dressing room. Wonder what clips they're going to show the players at half-time. Here's Bruno with a free kick next to the centre circle, into the box. Cher heads it across, it's gone behind, and that is the half-time whistle. Might have been a corner, but no time to take it. Newcastle United and Crystal Palace level at 0-0. Like it so often is when these two teams meet. We said before the match we thought there might be goals, but after 45 minutes under there haven't been any.
No, it's been a typical Newcastle Palace game, hasn't it? Palace have had plenty of the ball, haven't done a great deal with it. We've had the odd moment, but we haven't really hit any heights. It's been all sloppy. It's been... both sides haven't really been able to keep hold of the ball. It was about right at half-time, isn't it? Because there hasn't been a great deal in the half.
Newcastle, not too many chances. Isak went through, headed it on into the box. Keeper got out and made the challenge. Couple of breaks that they haven't made the most of, so we haven't really seen them attack, really, or put Palace under sustained spells of pressure.
Yeah, it's been... as I say, it's been stop-start. They've had a couple of long-range efforts, comfortable saves for Dubravka. They've tried to catch him out on the odd occasion, but he's been alert to that. And as I say, at half-time, it's probably about right.
Second half coming up soon here on BBC Radio Newcastle, live from Selhurst Park at the break. Crystal Palace 0, Newcastle United 0.
Matt Bailey at breakfast.
We're asking things that all British children are taught. Kenny's on the phone. What's yours, mate?
For some reason, when I used to be side playing with my friends, I always used to get told, make sure you got clean underpants on in case you get run over.
Yeah, always wear clean pants in case you get run over. Kenny, did it ever happen?
It did. I used to help one of the local milkmen. They always run across one of the main roads and I got run over.
I think you're the only person I've ever heard where the clean underpants had to be used.
I've probably never been reached since then, but I think I'm all right.
Matt Bailey at breakfast. Back tomorrow when you wake up. BBC Radio Newcastle.
Goalless then at half-time. Newcastle United at Selhurst Park against Crystal Palace. We will be back with Matthew Raisbeck and John Anderson very shortly. For full commentary of what is hopefully a better second half. One of 4 Premier League games tonight this is. One that kicked off at 7:45 has Bournemouth leading away at Wolves. Antoine Semenyo, former Sunderland striker, with that goal. So that was 8 minutes before half-time. Wolves 0, Bournemouth 1. They have just started the second half in that one. Manchester United have come back to draw 1-1 at home to Sheffield United. That's an 8 o'clock kickoff as well, so they're not quite at half. In fact, they have now reached half-time at Old Trafford as well. Manchester United won, Sheffield United won. Jayden Bogle had given the away side the lead at 10 minutes before half-time. Harry Maguire equalising for Manchester United. And Everton lead Liverpool in the Merseyside derby. Jared Branthwaite from Cumbria getting that goal midway through the first half. So Everton won, Liverpool 0. That one also a half-time scoreline. Also at half-time, in fact they're just into the second half, there's one game in the Championship tonight. It's Coventry against Hull City. It's effectively a playoff because it's 8th against 7th. Whoever loses is almost certainly not going to make the playoffs tonight. And at half-time, Hull City lead by 2-1 at Coventry. Jayden Philogene-Bidas with the opening goal. All 3 goals came in the last 14 minutes of the first half. That was the opener. Casey Palmer, who missed the FA Cup semi-final against Manchester United through suspension at the weekend, scored the equaliser for Coventry tonight, and then a Fabio Carvalho penalty for Hull in injury time at the end of the first half, giving them a 2-1 lead at the break. It is the first of the National League playoff eliminators tonight as well, the one that Gateshead should have been involved in, but Solihull Moors, after all that, taking on Halifax Town. It was a 7 o'clock kickoff, which means they're into the final 5 minutes or so. Solihull now 4-2 up on Halifax. They'd been 2-0 up after 20 minutes. They'd been 3-0 up almost before half time. Jack Evans got one back for Halifax on the stroke of half-time, and then it was back to 3-2 with 15 minutes to go. Florent Hoti getting one back for Halifax, but in the last couple of minutes, Solihull Moors restoring their 2-goal lead. Jamie Osborne, so there's 3 minutes to go plus injury time in that one, and Solihull Moors 4-2 up on Halifax Town. One non-league game locally tonight to talk about. It's being played at the Stadium of Light. They've just got the second half underway as well. West Auckland Town against Wickham in the Durham Challenge Cup final. And it is West Auckland Town who lead by 2-0. Josh Scott and James Harrison with those goals. So lots of games kicking off at lots of different times tonight, but they will all be finished by the time the Newcastle United game finishes later on as well. Last night, Hebburn Town blew their first chance to win the NPL East Division. They lost 1-0 at home to Ossett United in front of a crowd of more than 1,200 at the sports ground as well. Amar Purawa had a penalty saved in the last minute of first half injury time too. It means that Hebburn must win at Sheffield FC on Saturday. That's the final day of the season this Saturday. Otherwise, Stockton could end up dramatically taking the lead of the division and the one automatic promotion spot as well. But the Hebburn Town manager is Daniel Moore. This is what he had to say after last night's game.
I don't think we've played that bad. Just got, there's massive swing in the game just before half time with a penalty miss, and they go and get one up just after half time, after us missing a chance that we'd normally take, and gives them something to hang on to. They came with a game plan, they executed it, and they got the reward for their game plan. And I've just said there, we tried. We gave everything, we didn't leave anything out there. And sometimes football's just got a nasty habit of, bringing up the unexpected. But we expected a tough game, and we're prepared for that, and, we got one. But it was frustrating night, and we just have to pick our chins up and go on Saturday now.
He was, for the most part, looking on the bright side, though, Daniel Moore, because it is still in their own hands this weekend.
If we'd have got offered it, we'd have took it at the start of the season. My job now is to pick the chins up of the players, because they gutted that they couldn't do it in front of a brilliant crowd. But if we have to go down there and do it in front of a 50, then we'll go and do it. We're positive, we know what we need to do. We've not done a lot wrong tonight. Again, I think we've conceded one goal in open play. It's come from a penalty tonight, but we go down there positive, and the lads will know what's at stake. They know they've got to win. Not very often you get two chances at a league title. However, because of the run they've been on, they've put themselves in that position, so they deserve another crack at it, and we'll give everything on Saturday to win. Doesn't matter how you do it. If you get 3 points Saturday, I've just said it to them, get 3 points Saturday, you're champions. By hook or crook, the players have got to stand up and deliver that if they want to be a league champion. But on the flip side of that, I've said, if we have to prepare for the playoffs on Tuesday, we do that, because that's football, unfortunately. But we're in a chance of winning the league, so they know what they have to do. We know what we have to do, and we'll prepare for that on Saturday.
Indeed, Daniel Moore there, the Hebburn Town manager, after they were beaten last night. We will, of course, keep a close eye on their game at Sheffield FC, the oldest football club in the world, Sheffield FC, on Saturday afternoon. Either they or Stockton will win the league title, but Stockton are a bit far south for us, so we would quite like Hebburn to win it if possible. We'll come back to some rugby union shortly as well, because the Newcastle Falcons are back in action this coming weekend. But first of all, we head to day 5 of the World Snooker Championships at the Crucible Theatre in Sheffield. And we're joined again, as we were on Total Sport last night, a bit later tonight, by our reporter Shabnam Yunus. Jill, good evening, Shabnam.
Good evening, Colin.
Now, we saw the favourite for the tournament for the first time today. How did Ronnie O'Sullivan get on, first of all?
He, got his campaign underway, and it was quite comfortable for him against Jackson Page today. He ended up leading 8 frames to 1 at the end of that first session. Jackson Page didn't really trouble him much at all. I mean, the one frame that he did take was a really good one, a break of 142, his highest ever on tour. But generally, no problems for Ronnie O'Sullivan. He should cruise into the second round if he continues like that. Couple of frames to go for him when he comes back tomorrow afternoon. So yes, all eyes were on him, because he has that extra special challenge this year of trying to win a record extending 8th title, and that would add to his 8 UKs, 8 Masters, 888. Nothing like that has ever been done before. So records to break. He's going for it.
It's not a bad record to have, that, is it, when you list them all like that. Before we come on to tonight's 2 matches, a couple of other players who made it through earlier on today, including another one actually who'd been 8-1 up after his first session too.
Yeah, absolutely. Kyron Wilson had a really dominating win over Dominic Dale, 10 frames to 1. He won in the end, so he made it through. Mark Allen, Northern Ireland. Mark Allen won 10 frames to 6 against Robbie Williams, so he is also safely through. But we had another seed fall today. Jack Lazowski beat China's Ding Junhui 10 frames to 9. Really dramatic end to that match there. So he was the 7th seed to go out of this year's championship, and the record is 8. So a lot of seeds have fallen this year. A lot of good qualifiers in the mix. I mean, we only had 1 debutant, so that could be explaining it as well. So a really interesting championship. It's quite opened up with all those seeds gone out.
Yeah, and Jack Lazowski probably the toughest of the non-seeds to end up having to face. And how are this evening's 2 matches shaping up then so far, a couple of hours in?
Yeah, so we've got Barry Hawkins against Ryan Day. Barry has come in and taken the first 4 frames in a row, and he leads 8 frames to 5. And then you've got Jamie Jones against 4-time world champion John Higgins. And in that one, it's Jamie Jones that's leading 2 frames to 1 in that match. Higgins, of course, the more experienced player, but Jones beat Neil Robertson on the way to the Crucible this year. So again, a player that's proved that he can beat big names.
Indeed, Shabnam, thank you very much for the moment. Then, if all our stars align, we're going to get another report from Shabnam after the Newcastle United match is finished. Remember, we are on until 10:30 this evening, so you can have your say as well on the Newcastle United game if you send us your messages during the second half, but also once the game is finished as well. 08000 321 333 on WhatsApp and 81333 for your text messages. Start them all with the letters BBC, but I promised you some rugby union, so here we are, because Newcastle Falcons have got just 3 more goals at winning a Premiership match this season. You may know they were beaten 85-14 at Bristol at the weekend, far and away their heaviest defeat of the season. They welcome Sale on Sunday. Steve Diamond is the consultant director of rugby at Newcastle Falcons and formerly had that role at Sale as well. He did his pre-match press conference today, so here he is chatting to our rugby union commentator Dean Gray.
Bristol played like they had absolutely no inhibitions, and I'll never say they weren't anywhere near anything like that, but threw the ball around with gay abandon as we thought they might, and the team just didn't have an answer for that at all, did they?
No, and I think certainly the relaxed environment that they created, which is uncanny, because I've not experienced that in a long time, and certainly not here, where the side have sometimes been at a loss for skill, but certainly not endeavour. And I think we came across a side that obviously threw the ball around and we couldn't cope with it, and we had no answer to it, and that was from me right down to the kit man. It wasn't just the players on the field. So it's collective responsibility. I don't think I've obviously prepared the team right in the week. We've had a discussion about that in training and what we expect from each other, and we expect a damn sight more than that.
And the visit of Euro Club Sale this weekend. You had 10 years there, a club you know very well, both as a director of rugby and chief exec. They're going to offer a different set of challenges, aren't they? Because they're a team very much in their own mode still, I think. So, what's the threats they'll bring, and what are you looking to do to counter them?
Well, I think the threat they bring is they're a very good squad. They're well coached. It's a well-run club. They bring a motivation and element because they need to be in the top four, and I think they've got to win most of their games, as 2 or 3 of the clubs who are vying for that. So we've got a different motivation. Our motivation is we're at home with a big crowd, the penultimate home game, and we've just been beaten 85-14. I don't think I need to bang the drum for our motivation. I think Sale bring a plethora of internationals with them, the Currys, George Ford, Manu, and then a gang of younger lads, the wingers and back three, Reid, Roebuck and Carpenter, who will be internationals. So they've got a fantastic squad. We won't be concerned with those. We'll be looking after our own abilities and a real concentration on our own skill set this week.
So that is Steve Diamond there, the Consultant Director of Rugby at Newcastle Falcons. One full time to tell you, because it kicked off at 7 o'clock, and Solihull Moors they've held on to beat Halifax Town by 4 goals to 2 in that playoff eliminator. So they will take on Barnet on Saturday in the playoff semi-final in the National League. But we will head back to Selhurst Park now then, and we hope for a better second half than the first one. We got Crystal Palace 0, Newcastle United 0, second half in the company of Matthew Raisbeck and John Anderson.
Total Sport North East.
Matthew Raisbeck and black and white legend John Anderson.
BBC Radio Newcastle.
Thanks, Colin. 0-0 at Selhurst Park after 45 minutes. Newcastle are out first for the second half. Palace players are lining up in the tunnel, getting ready to return. I don't think there will be any Newcastle changes. Dubravka, Kraft, Scher, Byrne, Murphy, Bruno, Longstaff and Anderson, with Gordon, Isak, Barnes, the front three. Same 11 that started the first half, out for the second half. Crystal Palace taken to the field again as well. Their team is Henderson in goal. The back three, Klein, Anderson and Richards. On the right, Munoz, Mitchell on the left, Morton and Hughes in the middle of midfield, Ayew, Mateta and Eza. Front three, Newcastle among the substitutes, Callum Wilson back from a 10-match absence through injury. Second half has started on BBC Radio Newcastle and NUFC TV, and Newcastle in black and white, kicking towards the left as we look. The ball which United sent forwards towards Barnes on the left wing has gone out of play. Palace kicked off in the second half, by the way. Some of Newcastle's subs making their way along the touchline. Eddie Howe standing next to Daniel Munoz as he throws the ball into play. Jordan Ayew with good feet. It's away from a couple of black and white shirts. Byrne makes a block at the edge of the area. Elliot Anderson hooks it clear into midfield. Hughes for Palace, and now Wharton with his yellow boots to Munoz, and Wharton gets it back again, pings it towards the 18-yard line. Good header away by Kraft. Gordon then nods it back to the the Swede, but he was caught, Gordon, after he headed the ball, and that's why the whistle's gone.
Just ran into him, didn't he?
Share with the Newcastle free kick in the second minute of the second half. No changes, no surprise to you?
No, I think you give it 10-15 minutes. I think he will look and think the last 10 minutes we came into it a little bit more, had a bit more of the ball.
Share to Bruno. They went left with the pass, Newcastle, and back into the centre. Good link up between Gordon and Murphy on halfway. Now it's Byrne on the left again with Barnes. Hasn't really had the chance to take on his man. He attempted to there, but they doubled up on him, Ayew and Munoz, and it's a throw. Anderson back to Byrne, takes it on his thigh. Now along the floor inside to Share. High ball to the right wing towards Murphy. On his chest, Jacob Murphy into the penalty area towards Isak, but cut out by Richards. And Eze. Palace in possession. And it's Mitchell on the far side, but away by Share. Hughes on halfway. 0-0 the score. Ball back into the Palace half of the pitch. Everybody bar Isak for Newcastle behind the ball, which now goes to Joachim Andersen in the centre. Adam Wharton to Chris Richards. Give it away. Bruno to Longstaff. Can't go forwards with it, has to turn. Now plays a ball up to Isak. It's good find by Longstaff, and Isak with a touch off to Andersen. He's got it on the left wing here, Alexander Isak sends Munoz tumbling. And Newcastle still going. Elliot Anderson into the penalty area. Now Longstaff with a shot, which has taken a deflection. It wasn't, in fact it was Barnes who had the effort. It wasn't heading on target because of the deflection, which took him behind. But good play by Isak and Anderson.
Yeah, defender just falls over, just loses his foot, and yet again at that end of the pitch.
Gordon with a right-footed corner from the Newcastle left in the 49th minute. Sends the ball in, and Henderson punches. Kraft chases after it, takes it towards the corner. Wharton makes a sliding challenge, and the last touch was off Emil Kraft. Crystal Palace throw.
Yeah, I thought the keeper could have caught that cross, actually. Just decided to punch. It looked like in an area where he could have just came and collected.
Hughes gives it back to Mitchell. Longstaff wins it, links up with Gordon, and a cross from Sean Longstaff, which was into a good area, but there's nobody in black and white in the box. And it's out off Barnes on the near side. Palace's ball. Bouncing the ball. Wharton's available square. Klein is behind him. Klein gets it, plays it forward straight to Bruno. And Anderson away by the Palace defence. Byrne with a header. Hughes. Richards on the far side, the left-sided player in the three-man central defence for Palace. He's given it to Joachim Andersen. And away it goes. Eberechiez has made a run-off. Both Kraft and Share. Eze into the penalty box, left side, taking on Share. And it's away, but the flag comes up for offside.
Dear, oh dear, how late was that?
Newcastle want to play on because they had the ball, but you're right.
I don't see how he can see he's offside, because he's so far behind the play, the linesman.
Well, it is eventually the correct decision.
Yeah, but he's so far behind the play.
And Newcastle are annoyed. I don't know if it's about the late flag or the fact that the referee brought it back. It could be both. And Eddie Howe and Jason Tyndall both responded with annoyance on on the touchline. 0-0 here at Old Trafford. Ben Brereton Diaz has made it 2-1 to Sheffield United against Manchester United. Cher looking for Barnes, cut out by Munoz. Ayew into Wharton, centre circle. Back it goes to Richards. Listen to BBC Radio Newcastle. Mitchell blocked by Jacob Murphy. Hughes takes it on and wins a throw off Longstaff. Wolves have equalised against Bournemouth. Hwang Hee-chan has scored that one to level that match up. And Everton still winning, aren't they? The Merseyside derby?
Yep.
Anderson and Munoz tangling off the ball. Play continues. Palace have it at the back. It's Richards to Hughes in the wide position. Gets it back from Eze and then gives it to the Palace number 10 again. He's got 2 caps for England. Richie Eze. And 8 goals for Crystal Palace this season. His ball is away from Anderson and collected by Munoz. Heads into central midfield with it. Mateta takes it under control. Back to Hughes. Finds Eze next to the D. And he went to slip it into the path of Mateta. Cut out by Newcastle. And Isak trying to get in behind Anderson. But he wins the head of the defender. And now Murphy with a foul in halfway. Crystal Palace fans, having seen 2 of their players yellow carded
for similar offences,
want Jacob Murphy to go into it, but no further action as Callum Wilson continues to warm up for Newcastle. 54 minutes. Wharton away into midfield. He played it blind. Longstaff's header straight to Ayew. And Longstaff has tripped him. Referee plays the advantage. Eze into the final third, left side, onto his right foot. Plenty of black and white shirts back. Eze's shot blocked. Longstaff has it. Up to Gordon, takes it. He's got 3 Palace players with him. Can't hold the ball. And Newcastle are having to defend again. Wharton to Eze. Left of centre, 5 yards outside the box. Clipped in there, looking for Munoz. Heads it back towards the 18-yard line. Harvey Barnes on it. Barnes sent tumbling.
Just fell over too easy. You've got to be stronger than that.
It was Ayew who made the challenge. Then Palace give it away to Dan Burn. Now Sean Longstaff. Bruno, man on his shoulder, pushes it wide right to Murphy. Murphy's got to be careful. It's just about got it back to Kraft, and away it goes. There's nobody there in black and white. Anderson in red and blue for Palace. And now Eze. Mateta with a layoff. Jean-Philippe Mateta! Palace play their way through Newcastle, and their top scorer has his 13th of the season. Jean-Philippe Mateta, right-footed, inside the penalty area. 55 minutes. Crystal Palace 1, Newcastle United 0.
Good goal. Well worked, wasn't it? Little one, give and go. Little 1-2. Mateta and Ayew. And it's a clever little finish. Just rolls it past the keeper. We give it away. They recycle it again. Eze is involved again. But little 1-2. Dan Burn gets sucked towards the ball, just gets in behind him, tucks it past the keeper.
First goal Newcastle conceded against Crystal Palace since they drew 1-1 here in October 2021, shortly before Eddie Howe arrived. 1-0 to the home side, plenty of time to come back. Newcastle to kick off. Not sure what they're waiting for. Now the match restarts. Bruno over to Gordon, has a touch, plays it forwards for Murphy. They've got a throw. The Wolves equaliser against Bournemouth has been disallowed. Presumably VAR got involved there. Callum Wilson, more intensity about his warm-up. He's coming back to the bench. Burn in behind. Barnes trying to get there. brings it down. Good touch, Harvey Barnes. Tackled by Munoz. And then Barnes adjudged to have fouled him in the corner. And a free kick they're going to leave for their goalkeeper. Lewis Hall and Tino Livramento have been warming up, along with Callum Wilson, as the ball comes forwards. And it's out for a Crystal Palace throw. Munoz to Ayew. Away from Bruno, wins a free kick. Newcastle can't believe it. Bruno not happy. Elliot Anderson puts his hands on his head. Sean Longstaff went to speak to the referee. No yellow card. Newcastle don't feel it was a foul.
Well, he showed 2 yellow cards in the first half for similar offences.
Eza up the line, Mateta in the middle, Ayew blocked by Anderson. Away it goes. Eza down under a challenge, no foul, Newcastle free kick. Gordon takes the throw quickly, Isak chests it, looks for a return to Gordon. Munoz sticks it out. Elliot Anderson's got it, can't take a quick throw. Now it's back in play with Dan Burn, 1-0 down at Selhurst Park. Kraft to the goalkeeper, Dubravka has a touch, then another, then moves it with a pass to Fabian Schär. Schär's ball into midfield, intercepted by Wharton, now looking for Mateta. And that's great recovery from Sean Longstaff. The ball didn't quite reach Mateta how he wanted it, but they needed Newcastle someone to take charge, and Longstaff sliding in did. Got it back to the keeper. It's on it again now, Sean Longstaff. Forwards towards Anderson. Challenge from Clyde. Free kick for Newcastle.
Tell you what, this referee's losing the plot now.
Tom Bramall is...
It's never a free kick.
Getting some stick from Crystal Palace, and now the fourth official is being spoken to by Oliver Glasner, the Austrian, in the Palace technical area. Newcastle have activity on the bench, and the fourth official's got the numbers board. Might be Hall and Wilson. Bruno with a free kick, edge of the penalty area, header away, and then a touch on by Eza, and racing clear is Munoz, the right back at left wing. Eza, Gordon adjudged to have knocked him over, edge of the penalty box, and Newcastle, it's now their turn to have a go at the referee.
Told you this referee's lost the plot.
Maybe he feels like he had to give that. Anthony Gordon gets yellow carded for protesting, and Dan Burn, I've just seen him say it's not a foul. Fabian Schär pushing Joachim Andersen out of the way. Players losing their tempers. Is that a foul, in your opinion?
Always going to be given though, isn't it?
I think he's come through and taken some of the ball, and then there's been some bodily contact.
How can you not win the ball and there be bodily contact? Yeah. We've had this conversation before, Reza. It's an impossibility. Yeah. It's a physical impossibility to win the ball and not have contact with the opponent.
Well, the position of this free kick, 5 yards outside the box, left of centre. Eberechi Eza is the man. Or will it be Adam Wharton? One with the right foot, one with the left. Wilson and Hall are ready to come on after the free kick. 62nd minute. Dubravka, centre of his goal. just in front of the line. This could be a big moment in the match. Eza into the wall. I think it was off Isak. It's come out to the left. Bouncing ball. Bruno with a header. Munoz wins it back. Ayew into the box with Elliot Anderson holding him up. Ayew on the outside wins a corner. It's on the near side. Eza is going to take in for Crystal Palace, who lead 1-0. Linesman just peering over the top of the ball, just making sure it's not outside the corner quadrant.
Well, it is outside.
Eza, out-swinging corner, good header, but straight at the keeper. Free header, connection with the ball and power behind it from Mateta, but Dubravka makes a save. Bruno going all the way through the middle of Crystal Palace's team, stopped by a challenge, no foul. Play continues. Eza the danger man, back to Anderson. Still Wilson and Hall wait to come on. They've been there a couple of minutes. Ball hasn't gone dead. Eza gets around Kraft, blocked by Cher. He's got some ability. And he showed it there. Unbelievable skill and confidence to pull it off. Dominic Calvert-Lewin makes it Everton 2, Liverpool 0. Wow. And Manchester United, as they do, have come back 2-2. Bruno Fernandes has scored a penalty. That one's level now with Sheffield United. Kraft dispossesses Eza, who stays down, nothing given. Bruno's ball too close to the keeper. Isak was chasing. Longstaff with a header, might have been a push in the back. That's what Crystal Palace are saying. They've won the ball, so they're happy to play on. Wharton to Ayew, over halfway, near side. Ayew dragging it, and then moving it out to Munoz, and inside to Adam Wharton. A run from Mitchell from the left. Murphy heads it behind. Had to watch Mitchell's run, and did the defending.
It's taking their time getting these substitutes on, isn't he?
Still waiting. Been there 4 minutes. Well, now here we go. So Harvey Barnes is replaced by Lewis Hall. That's the first change, and Callum Wilson comes on for Jacob Murphy, I think. Yeah. Can't see the numbers board, but it is 23. Murphy off, Wilson on, and Barnes off, Hall on. So Isak probably to the left. And could be a back four, maybe?
Could be. We'll see.
Unless Hall goes to the left side and Anderson goes to the right. They're defending a corner, so we'll wait for open play again. Corner's been taken short. Wharton back to Eza into the box. Thinking about a shot, couldn't find the space. Will Hughes onto the roof of the net. Tried to scoop it up into the far top corner. It's just too high.
Just having a look at this. Looks like it's still a back three.
Well,
Ball's gone to left wing back by the looks of it.
Well, Wilson's up top.
Anderson's gone to right wing back.
Isak looks like he's playing off Wilson. We'll give it a minute or two and let you know how Newcastle are lined up on the pitch. This is Longstaff for Bruno. A little bit of space right side of central midfield. Goes out wide. Wharton makes a challenge. Bruno gets a free kick. That's what he was appealing for. Yellow card.
Dear, oh dear, honestly.
Another booking for Crystal Palace. Well, he didn't get any of the ball, Wharton. But Palace arguments over Newcastle not getting yellow cards may well be justified.
Yeah.
Even if that one should have been and was. Free kick taken. Isak up the right side. He's got Hughes all over him, forces him out to the touchline, into Bruno, back wide to Isak. Cher wants it played to the left side of the box. Isak whips in the cross.
Good defending.
And it's Richards.
Good ball
who
played
clears.
in as well.
Wilson was on his shoulder near post.
Yeah, great ball whipped in near post.
And Bournemouth winning at Wolves 1-0, but down to 10 men. Newcastle losing 1-0 here at Selhurst Park. It's Emil Kraft. In fact, Elliot Anderson's committed a foul. Next to the assistant referee on Will Hughes. So Dean Henderson leaves his box to take a free kick. We're almost under midway through the second half, and they are behind, but they've made 2 changes.
Yeah. I mean, Wilson, who's been out a long time, has come on. Hall's gone to...
It's 4-2-3-1.
Yeah.
Hall and Kraft as fullbacks. Isak playing off Wilson, Gordon left, Anderson right. What about how they've played in the second half?
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, we've been as poor second half because we haven't kept the ball. We haven't been good enough on the ball.
This player's good at keeping the ball. Eza stopped by a good challenge, edge of the box. Then he's won it back, but he's fouled Sean Longstaff. Home fans having a frustrating night, even though their team is winning, because
he's a player, isn't he?
They feel the referee's not their friend.
The referee's been poor. He's been so inconsistent, the referee, with his decision making.
Longstaff back to Kraft. Gordon wide left, he's got space. It comes to Hall, Gordon on the outside of him. Hall to Isak, now Gordon, and he's got runners. Shifts it inside, gives it to Bruno around Mateta. Bruno then has to play it square to Kraft. Palace got bodies back and players into good defensive positions. Bruno, nice footwork to get away from Hughes. And Longstaff to Anderson. Back to Bruno, through for Longstaff. They're into the penalty area. And the cross towards Wilson is put behind Joachim Anderson.
Cross has got to be better. Got in behind, had them on the back foot. Got to pick somebody out.
It's out for a throw, actually. It's very difficult to see that far corner.
Yeah.
You've got the roof, you've got the pillar, you've got speakers hanging down from the roof of the stand. Newcastle have the ball back in play, and it's Kraft to Cher to the right of the centre circle, but in the Palace half. On for Bruno, need an equaliser. 20 minutes remaining. Bruno Guimaraes on it again, trying to clip it through for Gordon's run. Palace win it back. Ayew to Munoz. Klein away from Gordon, and Cher has got a call from his keeper. Cher takes over, and that's up to Isak on halfway, challenged by Anderson, and then Anderson with another challenge, and Mateta on for Eza into the penalty box on the left side, taking on Kraft. Eberechi Eza back to the 18-yard line, still got it. Daniel Munoz right side of the penalty box. Ayew wide to Munoz, and then Wharton back through looking for Munoz. It's there before Byrne. Danger certainly not over. Wharton with a shot well off target.
Too easy. Too easy.
Alexander Isak grimacing. He was holding his thighs. He's moving okay as Newcastle start the match. Again, Wilson back after missing 10 games. He's missed half, slightly more than half of Newcastle's matches in all competitions this season. Still has 8 goals. Dan Byrne into Bruno Guimaraes. Tino Livramento among the players warming up. Fabian Cher looking for Bruno, finding him. the 5-yard pass. Gordon's dropped in, shifts it, goes on the outside of Munoz, then up the line. There's a lot behind the ball, but Lewis Hall's not giving it up, and he gets there. Hall with a cross, header straight to Isak. Alexander Isak in the penalty area, blocked. Anthony Gordon's kept it alive, found Hall. Palace under pressure. Bruno back to Cher. Now every player behind the ball from a defensive point of view for the home team. Longstaff to Anderson, challenged by Mitchell. Anderson back down the line to Kraft, inside to Bruno. Anderson, edge of the area, rolls it through, but it's cleared. He was trying to get it. Wilson in to feet in the box. Cher. Goal down, 72nd minute. Gordon in off the left wing, into the box. Isak making the run, but too close to the keeper. The ball from Gordon.
Yeah, too straight a ball, wasn't it? Too much pace on it. Idea was right, but a little bit better.
Crystal Palace looking to make a change. Michael Elise might be coming on shortly. BBC Radio Newcastle. It's a Crystal Palace throw just behind the halfway line. Total Sport back tomorrow at 6. You can listen on BBC Sounds anywhere in the world, or listen back to any show that you've missed on the BBC Sounds app. Lots of reaction to this match tomorrow night between 6 and 8, and you can phone in to have your say on the game. Jordan Ayew, who got the assist for the goal, the ball through for Mateta, is replaced by Elise. That was the one change they made from the start, Crystal Palace. And Elise is introduced in the 73rd minute. Now the left-sided winger plays off the right. French under-21 international. A little drag back and a flick from Elise. Munoz with a chipped cross to the back of the box. Tyrick Mitchell. And now Elise on the right, just outside Newcastle's penalty area. Wharton chips it in towards Mateta. It's with Anderson for Newcastle. Up to Wilson, but out of play. Eddie Howe with his arms folded, and now a scratch of the head. Palace, Joachim Anderson back to goalkeeper Henderson. Callum Wilson closes down. Henderson kicks through the ball and it beats everybody. Martin Dubravka takes a touch and then gives it to Cher. Longstaff, Bruno, centre circle. Isaks picked up a position to the right, receives the ball. It's to Anderson, back through for Bruno. It's come for Longstaff. Newcastle still in possession. Longstaff's ball headed away. Dan Burn on it. Longstaff and Bruno getting each other's way. Bruno's through ball cut out by Mitchell. Gordon makes a challenge and a foul on Wharton. Another scratch of the head from Eddie Howe, joined by Jason Tindall. There's not a lot in it, but the Newcastle aren't creating any chances, John Anderson, are they?
No, it's been a similar type of game to the first half. Palace having plenty of the ball. They got the one chance, well-worked goal, worked it well. But we need to be better on the ball than we have been.
Cher, and now Longstaff. This is Gordon helping it forwards to Bruno, takes it into the Palace half, gets away from Wharton. Good carry by Bruno. Now Lewis Hall in off the left wing. Gordon, the flick through his legs, comes back out wide left. Bruno's got it. Newcastle forced back towards halfway. Cher, width from Anderson on the far side, and Kraft as well. It's with Kraft onto Anderson, 30 yards out. Looking for an equaliser. Good play by Kraft into Isak. Now into the box. Longstaff has gone down. They look to the referee. He's given it. Has he? Or has he given goal kick? Surrounded by Newcastle players. Well, Referee says wait to Crystal Palace. Looked like he pointed to the spot, but he was pointing, I think, for a goal kick. Newcastle are adamant that should be a penalty. And it's going to VAR. Chris Kavanagh, the VAR. Isak's ball inside to Sean Longstaff. Will Hughes with a challenge on him. What do you think?
He's grabbed his arm, but is it enough to throw him? Oh.
It's a big, big moment.
Do you think that's a penalty?
I don't know.
Do you think that's enough to throw him to the ground?
There's not a huge amount of contact.
No.
I don't know. Another argument might be he's going at speed, isn't he? So it doesn't take a lot to knock you over.
Yeah, it's goal kick.
The decision is no penalty. No foul. And Newcastle players are not happy, and Sean Longstaff is...
I think he's got to stay on his feet. I think he's got to be stronger in that situation. I really do. He feels the contact. We've seen him do it so many times, Longstaff. As soon as he feels contact, he falls to the floor.
Well, as soon as the contact came, Longstaff hit the deck, and Chris Kavanagh on VAR advised Tom Bramall to stick with his decision, not to look at the screen. Eza into the box at the other end. Mateta back to goal, cleared by Byrne, and Bruno away to this near side. Hall has got it. Gordon making a run. Hall's ball in behind the defender. Klein got it away with Gordon on his shoulder. Now Anderson, Kraft chasing. It's bent away for Eza. He's offside.
Oh!
That would have been the penalty being given, their opportunity to level it up at 1-1. They've got 12 minutes of normal time to find an equaliser against Crystal Palace. 1-0 the score. Mateta's goal. Isak over halfway, right side. He's beaten Hughes and looked for Wilson, but cleared by Anderson. The final ball, when they've tried to slip it through the channels, it's been intercepted, hasn't it, time and time again. As it stands, they're dropping a place to 7th because Manchester United would move above them a point ahead. They are drawing 2-2 with Sheffield United. Longstaff involved in that penalty incident, not given to Anderson. Back to Kraft on the halfway line, into Anderson, who's on it once more, to the feet of Isak. Gets it back, Isak into the box, right side, goes on the outside, still alive Newcastle in the attack. Gordon through for Isak, no offside flag. Isak twisting and turning, still got it. Anthony Gordon spins, Bruno now outside the penalty box. Bruno runs into traffic and Elise brings it clear. They didn't test the keeper. Anderson has a tug at Elise, who's kept possession. Now Anderson's going to get booked for the initial pull, and Crystal Palace have a free kick.
Could be booked twice, couldn't he?
Well, it looked like they got into a good position. Ando in the box with Isak.
Yeah,
but I mean, nothing came of it.
This referee's been poor.
Final 10 minutes. BBC Radio Newcastle. Anderson has got the touch there. He's trying to prevent a corner. Can't do so, or does. Mitchell must have got something on that ball. It's gone behind, and it's a goal kick taken by Dubravka. Share for Longstaff. 2 players around him. Bruno. Kraft in space on the right. Into the Palace half, in behind. Callum Wilson has got options in the middle. Anthony Gordon. And he can't take it in his stride. And Wharton with a half clearance. And now Mitchell gets it away up to the halfway line. Shares won it. This time they got the ball in behind right, but Wilson couldn't find Gordon with the right sort of ball. Bruno now for Wilson on the turn. Wilson's cross towards Lewis Hall. It's come out to Longstaff on the edge of the area. Gordon dispossessed. Isak back wide.
Good ball.
Elliot Anderson slips it through towards Longstaff. It's behind. Could he have crossed it?
Yeah.
Players in the middle.
Yeah.
Crystal Palace substitution, and there's going to be a double change, in fact. They are taking off Adam Wharton and replacing him with the Dutch midfielder Jaro Riedewald. And the other change is going to see Jeffrey Schlupp come on for Eberechi Eze. And they'll be glad to see the back of him.
Oh, he's a player, isn't he? Got great ability, great feet.
1-0 down here. Meanwhile, Manchester United have turned it around and lead 3-2 against Sheffield United. Nobody warming up for Newcastle. 7.5 minutes of normal time remaining. Bruno Fernandes scored for Manchester United again. Time is ticking. And they need to find a late leveller, Newcastle. Elise holding it up, dragging it back and flicking it up the line. It's the second time he's done that since coming on. Throw taken by Munoz. Looks bright and quick, doesn't he? Riedewald trying to play it in behind Hall, but the offside flag goes up. Dan Burn takes the free kick quickly. Bruno for Longstaff. Under pressure, edge of the box. It's now Kraft. It's a long ball forwards. Anderson trying to help it inside. Palace win the header. Hughes back into the middle of the park. Mateta using his strength to hold it up. Schlupp away from Kraft, kind of cut it back to Elise. Cher just won a goal kick after intercepting, played it off Elise in behind. And it's Fabian Cher who brings it forwards. Isak on the stretch, took a touch, but it allowed Anderson to win it for Crystal Palace. And it's out, and Newcastle make a challenge, but it's a Crystal Palace ball on halfway. 6 minutes to play, 1-0 down. Callum Wilson brought on earlier in the half. He's not had a chance to test the keeper. In fact, Newcastle haven't caused any problems really for Dean Henderson. Haven't forced him into making saves. Free kick given against Dan Burn. Jean-Philippe Mateta was caught. It's rolled around a bit and now got up. Rubbing the top and the back of his head. Munoz and Elise over the free kick, 30 yards out, close to the right touchline. One knocks it to the other, and then Elise digs out across. Dubravka comes and catches in the 6-yard box. Bruno free, right wing, but he's rolled it instead to the left to to Burn rather, and now Gordon up to Wilson on his chest. Good take by Wilson, and then played back to Bruno. Something could be on here for Newcastle. On the attack with Anderson, wide right. Cross is blocked, and it's a throw. Taken immediately, back to Kraft. Inside to Bruno, still in the Palace half. Kraft comes forwards with it again.
Good run.
Carried it well
played.
Inside to Bruno. The cross from Bruno. Klein let it run. Hall has kept it in. Gordon with him. Hall, that was decent. Links up with Byrne. Lewis Hall. Don't know if that was a shot, but it was blocked. Now Dan Byrne with a chipped cross header into the ground and then into the hands of Dean Henderson. Elliot Anderson on the end of it, but easy enough for the goalkeeper.
Yeah, it wasn't a great deal of pace on the cross. Difficult one. He did well to get something on it, actually, Anderson.
Looks like Manchester United are going to win. They're 4-2 up on Sheffield United. Rasmus Højlund with the 4th goal. 1-0 to Crystal Palace. We're in the 87th minute and they're going to drop a place to 7th. As things stand, only a win would see them stay ahead of Manchester United because they are themselves winning. They have a throw in the left-back position. Lewis Hall with the ball. Isak gives him an option. Nice layoff towards Bruno. Longstaff with a touch. Bruno pushes it to the right and Kraft holds it up. Anderson on halfway, inside to Longstaff. Back towards Kraft, but it's short, and it's Will Hughes for Crystal Palace. 4-on-4. Other black and white shirts getting back. Schlupp with a cross. Hughes cuts it back. Mateta! That's game over, surely. Jean-Philippe Mateta's 2nd of the night. Newcastle gave it away on the far side. Palace broke through Hughes and Schlupp. Mateta finishes, and it's 2-0 in the 88th minute.
Sloppy from Longstaff. It's just a nothing ball. Just gives it away from that moment on. With players in advanced position.
Joachim Andersen's getting a bit of rough treatment from some Newcastle players. There's a problem. I don't know if it was something involving Alexander Isak.
It's with Cher.
It was Cher who was pushing him away. Might just have been, because they were together on halfway, Anderson and Isak. Very little time to come back now from 2 goals down. Mateta's finish underneath Dubravka.
Yeah.
Left-footed.
Yeah, it's just poor play. We just gave it away. Yet again, couldn't keep the ball.
Here comes Matt Ritchie. And we're going to see Joe White as well for the 4th time this season. No, it was Anderson. Started to run. Cher blocked him off. And Cher was giving him a bit of a push around. Now the substitutions are being made. Elliot Anderson comes off. Matt Ritchie onto the far side, and Joe White replaces Sean Longstaff. 2-0 to Crystal Palace. Newcastle staring at a defeat. 10th away from home this season in the Premier League. Bournemouth have won 1-0 against Wolves. Hall under pressure from Munoz on the near side. Elise plays it against Byrne and out. Throw in the middle of the Newcastle half. Mateta now has 14 goals this season. Another throw. Munoz, a minimum of 6 additional minutes on BBC Radio Newcastle. Elise goes down, and Newcastle, Hall in particular, furious at the decision. It's near to the right side of the penalty area, in between the touchline and the box. Not a good night, really.
No. We haven't been good enough on the night. We've been sloppy.
Palace looking at a 3rd win in a row after beating Liverpool and West Ham. Newcastle will need to respond on Saturday against Sheffield United. 5 minutes of the additional time left to play. Elise's tying his left bootlace. He's going to take the free kick. It's 10 yards from the goal line. Two new men in the Newcastle wall. It clips off Bruno and goes out for a corner. Bruno helps out by getting one of the balls off one of the cones around the pitch for Elise, so he can take the corner. They've left Isak and Wilson up, Newcastle, and a header caught by Dubravka next to the crossbar. He's run to the edge of the area and then turned back, dropped the ball at the feet of Cher. White, left-footed pass to Ritchie on the far touchline. Get one back quickly, they'll have a couple of minutes, but it would be unlikely. This is Cher, Isak with a nice little turn. Gordon, a flick through towards Bruno. Hughes mopping up, back to his goalkeeper. Burn to Hall, inside to White, looking for Gordon, finds him, back to Hall, that's good play. Lewis Hall on the attack, trying to find Wilson in the middle. Richards puts it out. Hall with a throw, back to Dan Burn, 93rd minute, 2-0 down. Bruno to Cher in the centre circle. They found Anthony Gordon. Up to Isak, takes it away from a couple of Palace players. Still Isak drags it back. The challenge comes in. Newcastle have the ball with Gordon. His forward pass is blocked. He's given it back to Cher. And now it's with Kraft. Ritchie on the outside. Back to Emil Kraft. Bruno wants to come and get it short. Does. Flicks it on towards Ritchie. Away by Richards. For Palace and Mateta, now to Munoz and Elise, but stopped.
Couldn't take it, could he? Just as well.
Fabian Cher pushes it back to the goalkeeper and gets it again off Dubravka. In behind for Wilson to chase after, and he's got there, wide left. Inside from Wilson towards Isak, Richards covering. And Crystal Palace look like they've just about dealt with that. Anderson eventually away, up to Mateta. Cher tackles him, Burn sticks it out. Joel Ward coming on for Daniel Munoz on the near side for Crystal Palace. Late change. It's been added on time. They're on BBC Radio Newcastle. 2-0 the score. Newcastle haven't tested the keeper enough, haven't had much of the ball. Hall with a clearance after the throw. Schlupp, Tyrick Mitchell might take it on. His shot was blocked. Jeffrey Schlupp, the substitute. Mitchell again, back to Riedewald, wearing shirt number 44 on the left of midfield. Back to halfway, Crystal Palace. Riedewald, not the best ball, he sacks onto it, could play in Gordon. Here's Anthony Gordon in the box, can they pull one back late on? Beats his man, Gordon, it's saved. Saved by Henderson at the near side after he chopped inside and got away from the defender. It's probably their best chance of the game. And it's come in the 95th minute.
Yeah, Palace just leave it to one another, don't they? All of a sudden we're in.
They have a corner. Gordon takes it, headed across the box by Bruno and behind. Gordon got inside away from Klein, the shot into the midriff of Henderson. 30 seconds remaining. And we'll put our post-match interview with Eddie Howe on Twitter or X. It's at BBC Newcastle to find us on there. Dean Henderson's goal kick. Dan Burn heads it forwards. Hughes on for Palace. Byrne with another header. Riedewald to Ward. Lifted forward. Cher gets a shove from Mateta, but it's a goal kick. The 6 minutes have been played. Newcastle have the ball moving again.
That's it.
But no more time. A defeat on the road. 2 goals in the second half from Jean-Philippe Mateta for Crystal Palace. And Newcastle are beaten at Selhurst Park. Their 4-match run without losing stays at 4 matches. And they drop to 7th in the Premier League table, with Manchester United winning against Sheffield United, who are coming to St James's Park on Saturday afternoon. It's been a disappointing evening, John Anderson, performance and result.
Yeah, performance wasn't great. We couldn't keep the ball. Second goal really killed it. You know, we weren't really in it second half. We didn't create a great deal. All in all, it was a real poor performance. Expected more, thought we'd be fresh, thought we'd be hungry, but we never seen any of that tonight.
Most of the away fans have stayed. Players are going to head across to the far side to thank them. As Crystal Palace supporters go through a rendition of Glad All Over, one of their club anthems. They'll be really pleased with how they performed. 3 wins in a row for them. What do you put Newcastle's display down to? Is it easily explained? The way that they just didn't really get going?
You know what it was? It was similar to the Fulham performance, Razor.
Yeah.
We won at Fulham. You know, we got away with it at Fulham. We didn't get away with it tonight. The performance was lacklustre. There was no pace. There was no hunger about it. No desire. Didn't do enough in the final third of the pitch. And the better side won. Sometimes you've got to own up to that. The better side have won in the night.
Yeah, not many chances either for Newcastle.
No, didn't create a great deal. The one right at the death was probably the best chance of the night. But apart from that, we didn't create a great deal. And as I say, best side on the night won.
It's finished at Selhurst Park. Crystal Palace 2, Newcastle United 0.
Matthew Raisbeck and John Anderson, thank you very much indeed for that. I know Razor said it already, but the post-match interviews from tonight's game will go up on BBC Sounds. You can either search for them on BBC Sounds, or you can look on our Facebook and X, formerly known as Twitter, pages to find the post-match interviews. There will be Eddie Howe. Hopefully there will be Player as well. We will find out later on, but definitely Eddie Howe at the very least, after Newcastle United were beaten by 2-0 at Crystal Palace tonight in one of 3 8 o'clock kickoffs in the Premier League. Relatively little injury time in tonight's Newcastle game. So the other 2 8 o'clock games are still playing. Actually, Manchester United now 4-2 up on Sheffield United after Rasmus Højlund got one in the last couple of minutes. That to add to Bruno Fernandes's couple and one for Harry Maguire as well. Jayden Bogle had given Sheffield United a 1-0 lead, and then Ben Brereton Diaz gave them a 2-1 lead, but they are now 4-2.
Cleared.